My name is Claire Weller, and if you'd asked my family, they would have told you I was the sweet one who couldn't hack it. I stood in the courthouse hallway, watching my sister's smile settle like victory, and 15 years of being dismissed sharpened into one clean point. Lena was 7 years older, brilliant, glossy, and sure she belonged at the center of every room. She'd breezed through law school and made partner before 40. At dinners, my parents recited her wins like scripture. And me, I'd been filed away as the cautionary tale. The daughter who dropped out after 1 year. My mother called it sensitivity. My father called it uselessness. Lena called it destiny, wrapped in a smile. Not everyone can be a lawyer, she'd say. The world needs assistants, too. They never asked what I actually did, so I let them keep their story. After I quit, I transferred, took night classes, sat the bar in another state, and passed on my first try. I went into legal ethics at the Attorney General's office. Misconduct, fraud, the rot behind polished suits. I learned to follow patterns. 3 years ago, Lena's name appeared in a complaint. Padded hours, dismissed. Then again, then a third time, with emails and a recorded call that turned my mouth dry. An investigation opened and stayed open. 6 months ago, our grandmother died and left her estate split evenly. Lena decided equality was an insult. 2 weeks after the funeral, she filed to rewrite the will and paint me as unfit to manage money unless she controlled it. Tuesday morning, the hearing would begin. Lena thought I'd fold. I'd brought my own attorney and a file she'd never imagined existed. Court began under lights. Judge Marin Caldwell skimmed the pleadings, then Lena's entourage, and her mouth tightened. They called a cousin who claimed Grandma was confused at Christmas. Adrian Cho, my attorney, exposed the truth. 5 minutes of chat, and Grandma had been homesick with the flu. A neighbor followed, labeling my weekly visits unnatural. Until Adrian got her to admit I'd visited weekly for 8 years, long before the will. At lunch, Lena cornered me in the hallway. "Settle," she said, for strangers. "I'll be trustee. You'll get an allowance. It's best." I kept my voice level. "Like what's best for your clients?" Her eyes sharpened. "You don't understand real law, Claire. You never have." Adrian appeared at my elbow. "We're due back." Afternoon brought their financial expert, hired to make my spending sound reckless. Adrian let him testify, then asked one question. Had I ever missed a payment, defaulted, or faced any negative financial action? The man hesitated. No. Judge Caldwell stared, bored, into Lena's table. "Is this really your case?" Lena's lead counsel pivoted, producing an affidavit from another cousin. I'd supposedly told Grandma Lena didn't care about her, nudging her into splitting the estate. A lie, stamped and sworn. Adrian rose. "Rebuttal witness, Your Honor." "Proceed." I call Claire Weller. I took the oath and answered plainly. Weekly visits, books and gardens, no pressure about the will. Then Adrian asked, "Miss Weller, what is your occupation?" Silence spread. "I'm a senior ethics investigator for the Virginia Attorney General," I said, "and I sit on the State Bar Disciplinary Board." Lena's face drained. Judge Caldwell leaned forward. "So you are an attorney?" "Yes, Your Honor." Her gavel clicked. "Continue." Adrian's voice stayed mild. "Your Honor, in my client's professional capacity, has she encountered Miss Lena Weller in ethics matters?" Lena sprang up. "Objection, irrelevant." Judge Caldwell didn't blink. "Answer." "Yes," I said. "Lena Weller is the subject of an open investigation for billing inflation and conflicts of interest." Adrian held up one page. "Limited disclosure authorization, signed by the disciplinary board chair this morning. Miss Weller's competence has been attacked in this proceeding." Judge Caldwell read it, then fixed Lena. "You asked me to control your sister's inheritance while you're under ethics investigation, and you filed an affidavit that appears fabricated." "I can address the affidavit," I said, setting my phone down. "I recorded my visits with Grandma for 2 years, with her consent, indexed. There is no conversation where I turned her against Lena. No talk of money beyond one moment. She told me she'd split everything evenly." Adrian handed over the index. Judge Caldwell spot-checked 2 clips. Dismissed with prejudice, she said. Fees and costs to the defendant. And I am referring this affidavit to the state bar. When court emptied, my parents hovered with wet, helpless faces. Lena reached for my sleeve. Claire, I didn't know. You didn't ask, I said. And you didn't lose because I surprised you. You lost because you lied. Outside, the sun hit hard. Adrian touched my elbow and smiled, and I felt my grandmother's peace settle. My phone buzzed. Tara Lynn. Formal charges filed tomorrow. Expedited after today. For the first time, Lena's shadow wasn't on me. It was behind me.